Hello and welcome back to the channel. How Dominance Anthony here. Please remember to like and subscribe, and also click that notification bell if you're enjoying what you see and want to see more. So in this video we'll have a look into the announcement of the men's squads for the England versus the Combined Nations All-Stars game played at Warrington's Halliwell-Jones Stadium on the 25th of June 2021. We look at both sides, the 19 for the men's and the 19 for the Combined Nations All-Stars team, who are the competitors for the international game. We also look into Super League teams and disgruntlement about this game going ahead, and why it seems a bit petty. Let's begin. So ahead of the international game, England versus Combined Nations All-Stars, Sean Wayne has confirmed his 19-player squad for this Friday's game. As it's a mid-season fixture, he has been told, well, he has decided to cut it down to 19 so that the rest of the squad can rejoin their clubs for the domestic calendar that is still going ahead, which boggles my mind, to be fair, and I'll talk about that a little bit later on. There are 6 uncapped players in the squad for the England side. Tom Davis, Ash Hanley, Morgan Knowles, Paul McShane, Mikola Jeletsky and Joe Philbin are all, well, I'd say I reckon all but one will be involved in the team. I'm going to put my neck out that the only one that might not make it is Tom Davis. Even though he's having a great season with Catalan, I just feel that with Ash Hanley, Tommy Makinson, so on and so forth, they're well catered in the wings, and they might need a different type of player on the edge. Maybe throw Stefan Rashford out there so they've got more handling players and a more competitive side in ball playing terms. We all know that Wayne likes his teams to be super aggressive in the tackle and dominate the defence, because that's the way that he's won championships. It's the old adage: good players can win you games, good defences win you titles. Anyway, so I've listed on the left hand side here, I always get that wrong, I've listed all the players that are involved in the squad for Friday's game, and we wish them all the best. And now on to the All-Stars, the Combined All-Stars team, which is captained by Matt Pryor and Leeds prop Matt Pryor, and co-captain alongside with Jackson Hastings of Wigan Warriors. Notable selections in the All-Stars team include Jermaine McGilvray, Jake Connor, Cruz Leeming, who are all aiming to impress England coach Sean Wayne ahead of the Rugby League World Cup 2021. And Combined All-Stars head coach Tim Sheens said, when this concept was created, the aim was to give England a highly intensive match as part of the preparations ahead of the Rugby League World Cup in 2021. I'm confident we've assembled a squad that can do that, and as it's always the case that Sean Wayne will get the first pick of England players, we obviously had to wait and work within the guidelines when selecting players. I'm really looking forward to working with them, and I hope we are all going to enjoy the experience, getting to know some new people and trying out some new combinations. Also, the match is being played to help raise funds for the Mossy Masoi Foundation, and the players will take great pride in wearing Mossy inspired jerseys, which will no doubt add to their motivation into performing well. Yes, the Mossy Masoi Foundation is one of the named sponsors of the Combined Nations All-Stars team. The shirts, which I'll show after this little segment, will have is inspired by tattoos that Mossy Masai himself has. I did a piece earlier in this season that about this Combined All-Stars shirt and jersey, and there are pictures on the web which I'm also going to show in the which I said I'm going to show that are sponsored by Green Flag, Common Sense to the rescue, the car rescue team. So all those on board, it's a national brand. We just need a great game, and for it to not get any distractions ahead of the actual game itself. Unfortunately, we did get some, and we'll go into that now. So before I go into what the Super League CEOs and Super League have said, I'm looking at the Combined All-Stars team that's going ahead with the game, and there are some big units in that team, and I think that's basically a ploy. Paulie is the biggest of the lot, but Andre Savelio is muscled up. Kalepi Tanganoa, Chris Sarte, they're all big men, and this is probably good practice for Sean Wayne's side for when they come up against teams like Tonga, Samoa, even New Zealand. They'll be tough after this. Peter Mataltia in centres is good. Susu and Matangi at Castleford. Big side for what Sean Wayne's side to face, and they will need to muscle up against sides such as this to be a success. I hope it comes through. So, as there is an international weekend going on, the women's game have stopped their season to accommodate in the north, because the south is still playing games, because it's one game in the southern national Super League, and none of the players that are involved, well, one of the players that are involved has been called up to either of the squads. There's only one player, should I say. As I mentioned in the previous one, that was the Army's Jess McCauley. But in the men's side, the domestic competition is still going ahead. They're all playing with depleted teams, and games have been cancelled due to COVID. They've knew about this game for over a year. They knew that COVID was still about, and they are just playing the games no matter what. I would have thought that they would have not had this weekend for any games, because they could have isolated, took a moment to isolate all the players not involved for the required 5 days, so that they're not COVID symptomatic or infected or anything like that, or if they are, they can get over it. And also, because it will be a weekend in the middle of 2 weeks where they're not playing, there would be some recuperation. Might have got more players back, more players fit. But no, they didn't take it to that front. They just wanted to play the games. And Super League clubs are bitching and moaning about it, because they're losing players, and there's COVID. They want domestic rugby to take priority. There's World Cup coming at the end of this year, this season. I've not thought about that. They could have left this weekend open and done a break throughout the Super League era. Then they could have either played the international game or just had a break, a mid-season break. Because every 4 years, well, every 2 years actually, there's international football tournaments. And then they could have marketed during that period, got all the TV people involved, and also blocked off the Challenge Cup weekend. 2 weekends in the entire season where they could have had rest for the players, especially in this COVID period. And it seems to be agreed with by the Warrington CEO, as Carl Fitzpatrick has said, clubs can't have the best of both worlds. One of the Super League's leading chief executives has called the competition to look at the bigger picture and support England's World Cup bid amid criticism of the national team's mid-season international this weekend. Don't forget, other clubs agreed to have this international over a year ago. Why have they changed? Just because it's a game. Here's the thing. I don't think any of the Super League games this weekend are going to be shown on national TV, Sky Sports. They'll be on the Our League app because of the international game. So, mounting injury lists and COVID-19 outbreaks across the Super League, there have been suggestions that England's game with the Combined Nations All-Stars in Warrington Friday should be cancelled to allow the domestic calendar to take priority, with a full round of Super League fixtures also scheduled along with the match. However, Warrington Chief Executive Carl Fitzpatrick has hit out at those claims, saying that for 1 weekend at least, British Rugby League has to put the international game first to give England a chance of the World Cup success and open potential new avenues of revenue for the sport. We've seen in other sports what a great World Cup can do for the country, for a sport, Fitzpatrick told Rugby League Live. We have simply got to look at the bigger picture as a sport here. This is the only game leading into a World Cup period, and it's the first time Sean Wayne will be able to coach England. It's not ideal, playing with a round of fixtures, but it was agreed in pre-season that we had to play here in order to fulfill our fixture requirements. We all knew it would be tough. We can't have the best of both worlds. We all agree. We'd make 6 players available, and we have to follow that through. Let's be right and look at the bigger picture. A strong England performance at this year's World Cup has a huge exponential benefits for our sport. Fitzpatrick believes the sport should commit as much investment and attention to the All-Stars concept as possible, calling for England to play a select side in mid-season on an annual basis. I wouldn't say a select side. I would say rotate different home nations. It grows. It'll grow the sport then. And play them away. I think this concept has got massive potential, he said. It's going to be amazing for England in terms of preparation for the World Cup, but it shows off the quality we have in the Super League too. Indirectly, Super League can benefit, and it will boost our brand equity. We could grow this into a valuable asset. Sky Sports want to show it, and in addition, it's an additional asset to generate value. Look at the All-Stars game in the NRL and how it's grown into a cultural asset for them. It's the same in other sports. We need our clubs to buy into this and support it. The statement goes on the Super League Live. Warrington have 5 players in Wayne's 90-man England squad, meaning that they're seriously depleted for their clash with the Lee Centurions on Thursday. Possibly Lee Centurions' first game win of the season. But Fitzpatrick insists that Wolves are happy to make such a sacrifice for the good of the national side. We remain very happy to support this, he said. Yes, we've got 5 of our best players wiped out from our league match, and it would have been 6 had Toby King not picked up an injury. But a good World Cup for England has the immense benefits for Super League in terms of new supporters, new audiences and new sponsors. For one weekend, we need to back this. He's right. Combined All-Stars team with green flag as part of the international brand. They've done it for the England men's side, but that's it. But now they've come into Rugby League. Don't know about you, but having green flag on board is a good first step. It's better than Papa John's. So, when asked if he understood why some clubs have a concern about the fixtures' viability given they are struggling to field a side for their own league fixtures, Fitzpatrick added, "I'm only looking at it from our point of view. I can't speak for other clubs in their own unique situations. I totally understand and sympathise with their issues, but we think this concept must be supported. A strong England team means a strong Super League." So I must make a clarification. There is one Super League game on TV, and that's Warrington Wolves versus Lee Centurions on the Thursday. But then that's it. He's willing to go into the game depleted, as it looking at the league as a whole. Yes, they're going to benefit because of the TV revenue that comes with it, but the rest of the clubs, they knew about this fixture. They knew when it was, knew when it is. Why didn't they put pressure on the Super League and Sky to cancel this week's games and arrange it for another day? Maybe play it on the Sunday after the Challenge Cup. The Challenge Cup goes on to national TV, not Sky. It goes on to BBC TV, and it's got an audience. Yes, there's football on at the same time, unfortunately, but it gets an audience. I think this year's is after the Euros though, so at 3 o'clock on a Saturday, Rugby League is on BBC. They can make an adjustment. It's not a hard thing to do. They need to make the 2 weekends a priority, and that may mean reducing the amounts of playoff games. Just have it 4 goes to 2 goes to 1. 3 weekends for the playoffs. It's the international game. It's one of the things that we're lacking, and that's where we're getting beat on Union in the international game. That's it. The domestic cups, the domestic club scenes are about the same when it comes to competition status, things like that. But they've got more supporters because they have got a pyramid going up to one thing, England. They're getting international revenues through that. Telefonica sponsors the England Rugby Union team. If you don't know who Telefonica is, the big O and the 2 goes next to it. Italian company. Not really, but you know what I mean. Needs the Challenge Cup segregated off from the weekend fixtures of Super League, and heavy advertising for that, and international games. The NRL seem to manage with 3 Origin games every single season. They don't start earlier than us, much earlier than us. So why can't we fit it in? Are we not scheduling it right? Anyway. Yes, we're not scheduling it right because we're not playing games on a Sunday. Anyway, I digress from my rant, and that's all I've got to say for it all. So that's it for another video, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe and share this video with all your social media contacts, so that we can grow this game. The more we grow the game, the more support the sport gets. In the meantime, stay safe, all the best, and I'll see you in the next video.